Hello, welcome to a brand new video. Today's topic is how to read philosophy. The answer is using your eyes. Thank you for watching. I'm just kidding. But seriously, reading philosophy can be life-changing if you know how to approach it. Let me walk you through exactly how to do that without losing your mind. The first step is to know what you're reading and why you're reading it. Start with intention. Don't just randomly open up Being in Time by Martin Heidegger just because someone on Reddit said it changed their life. That's a fast track to a reading-induced existential crisis. Think about why you're reading. Are you curious about ethics, politics, metaphysics, or maybe you just want to understand why people haven't stopped talking about Plato for the past 3,000 years? People haven't been reading this stuff because it's cute, but they read it because it changes the way they see the world. Check out my previous video where I give beginner recommendations on philosophy books, so you don't go crazy trying to read Hegel's Phenomenology of Spirit. My second piece of advice is to annotate while you read. And don't just read the book. This is a boxing match, and your opponent is Immanuel Kant, and maybe that's a good thing because I'd rather fight him than Mike Tyson. Here's what you should annotate. Firstly, the main arguments or thesis that the philosopher author is presenting. Number two, how does the author build upon that argument? And what examples does the author use? Number three, what do you think about the argument? And if you understand the argument, you'll probably remember it better. So interact with the text. Maybe put some exclamation marks where you think things are interesting, or maybe put a question mark where you're still confused on a subject. And maybe after reading each paragraph, you can try to summarize it in your own head to see if you truly understand it or not. I recommend highlighting boldly and writing in the margins of your books. It gives it more personality. Also, tools matter. Have a good notebook, some sticky notes, or use your lucky pen if that's your thing. My third piece of advice is to look at secondary resources. Look, there's no shame. Philosophy is hard, and everyone uses some cheat codes. Some of the best secondary resources I recommend are, firstly, the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy Online, which I think is the gold standard for explanations. I also recommend the very short introduction series. I haven't read it personally, but I heard from others that it's pretty good. I also recommend the Cambridge Companion series. Here I have Hume, Aquinas, Sartre, Heidegger, and Kant at the bottom. You can't really see it, but it's a good deeper dive into these works. And honestly, even looking at Wikipedia articles isn't that bad when you're stuck. Many classic publishers like Penguin's Classics have great introductions to have at the beginning of their book. Also, if you're in school, talk to a teacher. Professors love when a student is genuinely interested. They spend years reading this stuff and might be even flattered to help. And of course, my YouTube videos are here to help, so a bit of a shameless plug. My fourth piece of advice is to know the historical context. No philosopher writes in a vacuum. Understanding the time and place, the culture they lived in is crucial. Is it ancient Greece? Is it enlightenment Europe? Or is it post-Kantian existentialism? So you should ask, what era is this? Were there social or political tensions at the time? What was the author like as a person? And what have other philosophers said about them? Nietzsche famously said that a person's philosophy reflects upon who they are, and trust me, you will definitely feel it when you read him. Philosophers respond to their environment, and context turns abstract ideas into human struggles. My fifth piece of advice is to reread and to debate the philosopher. Once you've gone through the book once, go through it again. But now, read it like you're having a conversation with the author. Imagine them sitting across from you, argue with them, challenge them, and agree with them when it's earned. And at this stage, you're not only just reading philosophy, you've become the philosopher itself, and your job is to keep asking questions, even to Socrates. My sixth piece of advice is to enjoy the process. Make it a ritual, light a candle, and sit in a comfy chair like this one. I recommend finding a quiet corner in a house or reading in a library. This isn't a race to finish the book, but it's a lifelong pursuit, and it's one of the most enriching ones out there. My final piece of advice is to grow through it. Philosophy teaches you new ways to see the world. It stretches your mind, and it sharpens your thinking, and it makes you more cultured. So talk about what you're reading, debate friends, and join forums, and maybe argue online, but respectfully. And find other people who are also passionate about this stuff, and build a small community of thinkers. You'll realize that the true joy of philosophy isn't just reading, it's living it. And that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully that made sense to you, and if not, please leave a comment below and I'll try to answer to the best of my abilities. And don't forget to like and subscribe as always.